Welcome. This is the Boone News Republican. My name is Logan Kaler, and today we have a special guest. We have the third person who is running for the 4th Ward City Council position. Her name is Pam McClain.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, of course. Of course. It's always fun to have people in, and especially in an event like this. It's nice to get everybody together and give them the opportunity to kind of, tell the public what they have to offer and kind of just talk about themselves. And you know what? Let's go ahead and do that. So Pam, kind of tell us a little bit about your history. Where are you from? What have you done? What are you doing? Kind of just give us a brief overview.
Okay. I'm Pam McClain. I grew up in Ogden, graduated from Ogden, and then I married my husband Gary and moved to Boone in 1969. I've lived in Boone for over 50 years, 47 of them in the 4th Ward. Gary's retired from Danfoss, and he retired in 2014, and so he worked over there for over 40 years. I'm a member of Augustana Lutheran Church. I have a daughter, Micah Shanahan. She's a senior administrative assistant for Kemen Industries in Des Moines. She's married to Tim, who's an executive director of an emergency shelter for families with children. And he has a daughter, Emma, who is first year at UNI. I have 6 grandkids, like I said, Jack and Allie, and Emma Shanahan. I have Maddie Slight Weiskup, who's married to Tyler Weiskup, who owns Weiskup Trucking in Ogden. They have 3 sons, Kane, who is 6, Camden, who is 4, and Kane, who is 2, and they are expecting a daughter in September, which we're all excited about. Maddie's an RN, and she subs as a nurse at the Boone schools and Ogden. My grandson Joseph Slight, who's a Boone police officer, he's been with the Boone PD since 2016. Emma Slight, she'll graduate in May from DMAC with a degree in agriculture business. And so I've, like I said, it'll be 50 years in July that I've lived here in Boone, 47 in the 4th Ward. I've done a lot in Boone, held a lot of positions, worked at a lot of different places in Boone, and
What are you doing in your free time?
I quilt. I watch my great-grandchildren. I love to play cards. I like to work in the garden. I like to go to Kansas City a lot to see my sister. Mm-hmm. So I keep busy.
Yeah.
So.
Let's see. Quilting is actually a lot harder than people think it is.
Hard and expensive.
Expensive.
It's an expensive hobby.
When you quilt, do you do it with one of those, what do they call those big machines?
The long arm? No, I actually I sew them together and then I actually send them out to be quilted. So
okay.
I don't have a long arm, no. But
You probably made a lot of quilts in your day. Just hearing about your large family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
So
all right.
it's fun.
So that's a little bit about Pam. Let's go and get to the meat and potatoes of the subject. So Pam is running for the 4th Ward City Council position against both Brett and Terry. So tell me what it is that made you want to run, Pam.
Well, I've always wondered how the city council makes their decisions and why they vote the way that they do. So, I don't know. When Kevin resigned, I just thought it would be kind of cool to be a city councilman. I thought instead of sitting back and wondering why the city council makes the decisions that they do and vote the way that they do, why not run? That way I can be part of this decision making. So
Cool. That's a good point. I've wondered the exact same thing. I go to all the city council meetings and I'm sitting at that front table and there's 5 city council members, 1 for each ward. Then there's the at-large positions, and you kind of wonder, what makes them decide whether this is a good idea or it's a bad idea. What do they weigh their pros and cons and which way, and some people think that it has to do with their political bias. Some people be like, oh, they're only doing that because they're Republican. They're only doing that because they're Democrat or whatever. But in local government like this, I really don't think that's that important. What's really important is the city and the decisions they make and how it directly impacts it.
right.
So that's a point that I'd like to ask you. What do you think Boone is lacking, and how will you fill that hole to fix what we are lacking?
Okay, my agenda, I feel, is play local, shop local, eat local, stay local. We need more businesses in Boone. We need more restaurants. We need to bring people into Boone. So we need to find something that is age appropriate for everyone. So that's what I'd like to see Pufferbilly Days back the way that it was. I think that it's kind of has died out over the years. I just think that we need to stay in Boone. We need to fill those storefronts downtown so that we aren't forced to leave Boone to shop. We have a wonderful downtown. We have beautiful buildings. And it's a shame that a lot of them are sitting empty. It's great that we are progressing out south.
Mm-hmm.
But I love the fact that Belushi's and the theater and TikTok and the bakery have stayed downtown. I think those are big draws. So I would like to see more businesses in the city.
What do you think is one of the weaknesses that we have in Boone?
I think we're too close to Ames. I think we're too close to Des Moines. We don't have the jobs here to keep people in town. Years ago we did. We had a lot of, industrial road. We had a lot of, companies out there for people to work at. But I just feel that, we've lost all of that. And so people they're living in Boone, but they're driving to Ames and Des Moines to work.
It's true. And when you're doing that, you're bringing, if you're living in Boone and you're working somewhere else, you're bringing your paycheck back here, but are you necessarily spending it all here? You could be
The grocery stores are profiting, Walmart, and that's basically about it.
So, what makes you, what do you think would make a voter want to vote for you? What do you have to offer or bring to the table?
Well, I feel we need another woman on the council, so I'm hoping that will bring votes.
It's not, you're definitely right.
But like I said, I would like to see more growth in Boone. I want people to come to Boone. The races bring people, but they bring it as far as South Story, and they don't go any further.
Yeah, you make a good point. The south side of Story Street is developing. It's seriously booming. Just since I got this position in December, one of the first things that I wrote about was how Bacon's and Narum and Verizon and the dentist's office and all those places moved south from their previous locations. And when they do that, it kind of leaves a hole
Exactly.
in the downtown district. So how would you, what do you believe you could do, or the community itself could do to revitalize the downtown or bring people back to the downtown? If there's already so much out there on South Story Street, what would you do to bring people back to the historic downtown?
That's a good question. And truthfully, I don't quite have an answer for that yet.
Oh, no, that's fair. And I don't think that I don't think that I've actually gotten a solid answer from anybody. There's been a lot of things that are moving around right now, because there's like the green space where it's out on 8th and Story, and there's like BVB holds live concerts and stuff like that. You know, it brings people downtown for short periods of time. I think I just read yesterday somewhere that there's someone who's gonna bring a ice cream shop.
Well, that'd be great.
Downtown, but you know, in the same breath, down south, somebody's also opening up a drive-through coffee shop next to Intensity. And don't quote me on this, 'cause I don't know for sure, but these are just things I'm hearing. But it's like, that's kind of like the open-ended question. You know, people don't really know, how do you bring that life back to the downtown?
Right.
Okay, so let's see. Another woman on the council. You know, that's a really good point too.
Thank you.
And there's what is one other than
Holly, right?
Yeah, Holly. And I think that's important to have an even mix of men to women. So let's go ahead and wrap this up with one last question. What would you say to a voter on May 7th as they walk into the ballot? What do you say to them to kind of give them the one last kick to let them know that they should vote for you? What would you say?
I don't have a lot of experience with the city council, but I feel I'm a go-getter. I like to see things get done. I feel that I can bring things to the table, and I just feel that having another woman would be a great plus.
Yeah.
So vote for me on the 7th, and if you have any concerns, I can be reached on Facebook or at my email address, which is psmcclain50@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from people in the 4th Ward.
Cool. All right. And this has been a special with the Boone News Republican. This has been Pam McClain. My name is Logan Kaler. Thank you.